My fellow A-Plusers, welcome back once again to a brand new episode of A+ Morphinominal, your stop for your Power Rangers, Super Sentai, and Kamen Rider news and reviews right here on our YouTube page. It is I, your Morphinominal host, Adam Perez, back once again as we're set to get into some Kiramager talk today, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, episode 28 is on the docket. We wind up getting ourselves a brand new episode this past weekend, so it's Toku Tuesday, and you know when it's Toku Tuesday, we got to talk about Kiramager, guys. So we've got that today. We also got Kamen Rider Saber later on this afternoon for you guys, and we also have our next reaction video for Go Busters episode number 40 dropping for you guys today also. So Toku Tuesday is going to be quite busy around here at A+ Morphinominal, so I hope you all enjoyed, just like I hope you enjoyed your weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, guys, this was a really fun episode. I honestly really enjoyed it, so let's get into Kiramager episode number 28. Listen, this episode, at least, or it feels like the last few episodes really have been building to a story arc here. Now, I don't know how long this story arc is going to go, whether it's going to be 2, 3, 4 episodes long. I'm not quite sure, but I feel like ever since we've gotten the introduction to Yodanna, things really have changed for not only this series, but also our Kiramagers. I mean, I honestly feel like we're seeing them sort of push to their limits or push to their brinks more than we've ever truly seen before. So any power-ups, any new mechs that they want to introduce, certainly welcome for sure. And we did get ourselves a brand new mech here in this week's episode. Although Embark didn't necessarily show off all that he's capable of doing, I'm certainly expecting him to show off what he can do, at least here within the next couple of episodes. So really interested to see how that kind of all plays itself out. This episode very much was Shiguru-centric, or at least had a Shiguru storyline, which I was really thrilled with. Shiguru is just such a cool character, man. I honestly love him, from just his over expressions to his performance and things like that. Like he's just a very flamboyant character that I honestly really enjoy seeing on the screen. There's an element of Shiguru that almost harkens back to like Razzle from Real Soldier. Like there are some times in Shiguru's performances where he can be very much the showy type, right? Like the showman, a little over exaggerated with maybe his facial features or expressions and things like that. Really over the top at times, but there's such a fun and cheesy aspect about Shiguru that I really have come to enjoy, honestly. And you guys have heard me talk about this before, that I do have a top 3 when it comes to the Kiramagers, with Juruu, Tomitomo. Tomitomo will probably be my favorite, and then Sina there. But if you guys know, I've said this before, I feel like Sina and Shiguru kind of flip-flop spots, if you will. Just depending on what the episode is. And so like getting an opportunity to see Shiguru in here highlighted, showcasing a lot of his strengths and things like that, making me laugh half the time in this episode. Man, he really is, for me, I feel like a very underrated character. He may actually be in my top 2. Like my top 2 may, like, actually now that I come to think about it, my top 3 may be Tomitomo, Shiguru, and Sina. Listen, I love me some Juruu. I do. I think he's a great leader. But out of the characters in here, man, Shiguru and Tomitomo definitely, at least now that I come to think about it, are probably in my top 2. Might be crazy to say, but I really do love what Shiguru brought here to this week's episode. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys, because there was a ton of stuff for us to go ahead and kind of shift through, if you will. So first up, we get to see ourselves with Juruu and King Oriden once again. I think this is a combination that us as viewers honestly like. There is still that level of mystery as to how is Juruu certainly connected to King Oriden. You know, we referenced the idea in this episode that they're meeting in a dream, and I love the fact that King Oriden even hints at the idea like, hey, if we ever get this opportunity to meet up again, not that I feel like they have a choice in the matter, but even King Oriden's like, you know what? We probably have to stop meeting like this. Like, can we meet someplace else? And even though King Oriden doesn't specify where it's at, he simply just makes a reference of the door. Now, where the door leads to, where the door's at, certainly nobody knows. But clearly, follow your Kiramental heart, if you will, Juruu. It'll eventually pop up in here. But we do see that King Oriden does pass him a crystal key. Now, what's fascinating about this crystal key is that it not only pops up in his dream, but it also pops up when he's awake. So Juruu, in fact, does have the key when he wakes up from this dream with King Orden. In this dreamscape, this dream world, if you will, I really don't know the limitations of it. I still don't know how they're certainly connected by it, but trust me, if the red gemstone and fire is attracted to Juruu and finds him as their leader, and Juruu has all these similar skills and attributes to that of King Orden, there definitely is a much bigger mystery behind it that we certainly don't know. Who knows? Maybe Juruu just has that type of genuine heart that King Orden just seemingly connects to, but who knows? The mystery is still out there, and I did love the little dream escape that we wind up having between these two here in this episode. But this little dream of Juruu's does kind of upset Mabushina in a way. So quick honorable mention of Mabushina in here, who I love the idea that she is still grieving from the loss of her father. She talks about the idea of being a little bit jealous that Juruu can connect to her father, unlike her, which seems a little bit odd to me. I mean, considering the fact that that is her parent, her father, you would think that there would be some sort of emotional connection or emotional tie that allows her to see her father on those type of occasions. But clearly she's not capable of doing what Juruu certainly is. And so we do get the opportunity to see her crying really at the idea of the jealousy and maybe just honestly missing her father at the end of the day. So I do love what they've continued to do with Mabushina in growing her connections, not only with her father, but especially the queen over the past few episodes that we have certainly seen, to say the least. But what does grab Mabushina's attention here is the fact that Earth is under attack. And not only is it just regularly under attack, this attack models that of the same attack on planet Crystallia. So whatever is attacking Earth right now, whatever Marsk beast or whatever creature is out there, is in fact the same one. So this just brings back a flood of terrible memories, unfortunately, for Mabushina, who now fears that the same is going to happen to Earth here if the Kiramagers certainly don't do anything before they wind up missing their time. So we do get the opportunity to see our Kiramagers face off against this invisible foe, which we eventually come to find out not invisible, but simply camouflaged, and our Kiramagers get that ass beat. I mean, you want to talk about bringing out King Express Zabyun, your most powerful weapon that you just acquired. Psh, get that out of here. Karamazin, get that out of here, right? Like, clearly, this new beast is something unlike anything that we have certainly have ever seen, and it definitely makes sense considering just all the damage that this creature wind up showcasing to us, just why Planet Crystallia fell in the first place. Honestly, one of my favorite scenes in here is probably the reveal of the monster, right? Let me see, Gomoryu, I believe his name was. I believe I wrote it down. Let me just go ahead and pull up my notes here, because Yodanna does attack, because Yodanna winds up actually calling this brand new beast to do it. And what's interesting is that Garza even makes reference that this particular type of beast that we're seeing in here is really only called upon by Emperor Yodon himself. Like the Emperor himself controls these beasts and have them at his command. So again, the fact that Yodanna now is able to utilize it just continues to show how close she truly is to Emperor Yodon at the end of the day. Let's see here. Did I wind up pulling up the name? I guess I didn't. But oh, there we go. Gomoryu, Gomoryu, the Yodon Titan, as Yodanna winds up calling it, the Yodon Titan Gomoryu, which makes me scratch my head a little bit, because don't the Kiramagers have Titans of their own, if I'm not mistaken? And the fact that even one of their Titans, which I believe was the King Express, just got washed with it. Just nothing. Didn't even stand a chance whatsoever. So it does go to show just how formidable this beast is. But one of the scenes that I loved was, because of the fact that most of the episode it was camouflaged, you really couldn't see anything. The idea of when it finally, its camouflage comes down, when our Kiramagers destroy the tablet that Yodon is certainly using to camouflage this creature, the reveal of this creature was unlike anything that I've ever seen. Like, I did not expect this creature to be as huge and gigantic as it was. Like, when the camouflage comes down, I'm like, what the? And if you even see the Kiramagers running into the street to look up at the Titan, when you go back and look at it, look at Tommy Tomo's reaction. He comes running, he's like, oh, like even he didn't expect this thing to be that size. Like, this thing is like 2 to 3 times the size of a regular Marsk piece. I mean, this thing is huge. It almost reminds me of like a freaking Godzilla sort of monster, the way that this creature was designed and how big it was. So love seeing the Yodon Titan. Makes me think that maybe only our Kiramagers will eventually have themselves a formation that will be able to go up against somebody like that. And maybe the person to do that is our new instructor stone in Embark. We'll see. We'll see what winds up happening here. But they're going to need Embark. If there's anybody that's going to be able to revive sort of these Kiramagers, bring these gemstones back to life, buff them out, if you will, because they were pretty cloudy and super numb after their first beat down that they wind up receiving at the beginning of this episode, the person to hopefully help them get out of this funk is, in fact, Embark. Now, this is something that we wind up getting a story told from Mabushina in here, letting us know that, or not only Mabushina, but I believe it was Zabyun themselves, letting them know that if they want to go ahead and help out the gemstones, they're going to go ahead and need to get their shine back. And by doing that, they need to go ahead and bathe in the holy light of this brand new place. They call it Atamald, Atamald. Atamald? I'm not quite sure. It was an interesting name. I've never heard of it before, honestly, even in like the scans or even pronounced. So I could be absolutely butchering it. But Zabyun does make the reference that in order to get the gems shine back, they have to bathe in the holy light of Atamald. But the only person who knows how to get there, unfortunately for them, is Embark, who used to be the instructor or the mentor, if you will, for King Oradon ever since this guy was a little kid. The fact that King Oradon went from a crybaby to this royal king is absolutely amazing. And so leave it up to Embark for doing such an amazing job. And I also love just the little cartoon photos that they wind up having of King Oradon in here as Cena's going through her head trying to picture what a crybaby King Oradon would look like. I thought it was brilliant, honestly. But I really love the artwork that they wind up showing in there. So we come to find out that, yes, this instructor is actually a stone, just similar to like the rest of the other gemstones. Was, in fact, Oradon's mentor from a crybaby all the way up to his adulthood. And when he wind up finding out about what happened to Planet Crystallia and the loss of King Oradon, unfortunately, it looks like Embark went off on his own journey, sort of left everything behind, and apparently currently like on a tropical island dealing with his own grief and depression. Like nobody's seen this guy or heard from Embark in quite some time. So leave it up to Shiguru and Juruu to try and find out where Embark is and if they can go ahead and bring him on board. And this is where it leads me to Shiguru, because I honestly loved his role here this week. The fact that he does have his over-exaggeration is an over-the-top performance, him being sort of that showman and performer. I love the fact that he really does his best to try and get Embark to feel those emotions again, really going through like his whole entire gambit of material that Shiguru has had over the years, it feels like, from comedy sketches to musical performances, whatever he can tap into the emotional side of Embark to get him responding and make him talkative once again and get him back on their side. Shiguru really goes all out here in this episode, and when he comes to find out that majority of his stuff isn't working, he does rely on going back to his acting, performing one of his lines that he was studying earlier in the episode, giving off a fantastic sort of crying performance, right? Because again, Shiguru, he's not just a pretty face, ladies and gentlemen, right? He's not just a handsome guy. He's got a brain. He recalls the idea that Embark, as the mentor of King Oradon, would cry along with this crybaby Oradon at one point in time to help soothe him and really have that empathy towards him and understanding. So Shiguru, being the smart one that he is, winds up using that to his benefit and using a fantastic acting performance as he winds up doing in here. So I love it, man. I truly love it. And again, you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of like musical montages, but considering the fact that I knew this was going to be a Shiguru episode and he was going to go all out to win over Embark, I was kind of expecting a performance, to be honest with you. And I really enjoyed his song, from not only the song that he performed, but also them performing Shiguru's song at the end of it. I mean, this guy's just so cool, so laid back. I truly do love Shiguru, from just all his facial expressions, the little lip thing that he does, the hair flowing. Like, He's so perfect, man. Shiguru is so perfect in my eyes. He's really becoming one of my favorite characters, honestly. But overall, guys, stellar episode. Shiguru's Razzle Dazzle certainly won me over this week. Quick honorable mention, we did get the opportunity to see Mixalon used. It's been a while, I feel like, since we've seen some of the Chevelle cores utilized, so it was great to certainly see him back in the fold here this week. But yeah, overall, Yodanna still continuing to showcase how badass she is, whipping those muddies sort of into shape. Oh, I almost forgot, and I'm so glad I did not forget this. The action sequence in here is mind-boggling to me. For me, it's easily one of my favorite action pieces here this week. There's something just so incredibly technical about how the angles and the shots were made from the fight choreography and things like that. I really do want to just spend an entire week on the set of Kiramager or any Super Sentai series for that matter, and truly see how they put one of their fighting scenes together the way that they do. Because while this certainly wasn't in a warehouse, it definitely took place in a building, and I love the fact that it took place on multiple floors of the building, on the inside and outside. I mean, this tracking shot, while it certainly looks unedited, make no mistake, there definitely are, like, I think I counted like 2 or 3 quick edits in there so that it looks as smooth and as one long shot as it possibly can. But some of just the slickness that this performance does, right? From Tomitomo busting through, calling on the careful go arrow, not only shooting it to attack people, but also shooting it to have it power up everybody else before coming back to him. I thought that was pretty cool. I love the move of Tomitomo using the careful go arrow through the freaking roof and up to the second floor. I thought that was pretty neat also. Seeing Takemichi run and like tackle or grab one of the muddies as they go crashing through the window and all the way down to the first floor outside. Like some of the maneuvers and the editing and the shots were just unbelievable to me, honestly. This was one of my favorite fight performances that we've seen in this entire season, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, I had to go ahead and throw in that honorable mention because whoever the performers that did it, the people, the cast members or the crew members behind the scenes that put this together, flawless, guys. Absolutely flawless. Because for me, like, that stuff doesn't seem like it comes easy. The idea of having to not only have your cameraman following around all this, having it edited, but extremely seamless, mixing in also not only the shots, but those same shots with special effects from the fightings and the bows and the arrows and the power ups. There's so much work that goes into shots like that I needed to give them some praise for the amazing job that they certainly did in regards to that. But guys, listen, those are my thoughts and my A+ opinions in regards to episode number 28. Again, these are just my A+ opinions. At the end of the day, though, I definitely want to go ahead and know yours. So please let me know your thoughts either in the live chat or the comment section box below after this winds up airing, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. And of course, if there's anything that I missed, whether it be character moments, further character development, plot details you want to further talk about, please go ahead and do so in the comment section box below so we can further our discussion. I do believe I have a question over on our A+ Morphinominal gmail.com. Yes, I do. I've got L'Oreal. What's up, L'Oreal? Also known as Blossom here on YouTube. A couple questions. Were you surprised when Shiguru started singing? I was. I wasn't surprised because I feel like, well, I guess I should be. Yeah, I guess I was a little bit surprised because I was thinking about when they performed last time that we saw, and that was Tomitomo singing. But yeah, this was Shiguru's first time singing, if I'm not mistaken. But he seems like he's got a great voice. Him and Tomitomo certainly both do, considering just how talented Shiguru is with comedy and acting and things like that. It doesn't surprise me he's that talented, but it definitely surprises me that he wind up singing here this week. But when I realized that he was going to go all out to try and do his best to do that razzle dazzle of his, or that entertainment that he's so well known for, I was thinking that he's probably going to go all out. There may be a performance in here somewhere. You also ask, how is it that every time Juruu is dreaming about Orden, something from Orden instantly appears in his hand? I'm trying to remember what the other thing was. I don't feel like this is the first time that that's happened. Maybe it is the first time that something that he's had in his dream has carried over into his reality, like physical. Um, Maybe we have had something like that before prior, but I feel like if anything, if there's anything that carries over, it's usually like ideas, concept, artwork, things like that, right? That lead to other discoveries and creations by Juruu. So then I'm wondering if is that the first thing that we've seen actually solidify from dream to reality? If it is, let me know. Again, I've been through 28 episodes. It's hard for me to remember sometimes after all the stuff that we do. You also say some of your comments. I gotta admit, Shiguru's song was pretty cool. If anything, I put his song as number 3. Tommy Tomo's and Sina's songs are tied for number 2, while both songs for Mabushina and My Sweet Babu are tied at number 1. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I had no doubts that Juru's song was number 1 for you. But Tommy Tomo's is probably my number 1, and then probably Shiguru's and Sina's so far. You say, I'm really curious about the place that restores the Karame stones. Yeah, the Atamald, I believe is what it's called. Atamald or Atamald, Atamald. I have a feeling we're probably going to see that next week to see exactly what type of place this is. Because trust me, that when I say that the Kiramager stones need as much help as they possibly can. You say using a tablet to make a monster invisible like that for a villain Yodanna is pretty sharp, creepy but sharp. Yeah, she's still showing her worth, ladies and gentlemen. Make no mistake, Yodanna is definitely showing her worth around here. She's been a great addition. Maybe the fact that I have a little bit of a crush on her. Hey, look, listen. I think we all have a little soft spot for the bad girls or the creepy stalker-like girls, right? Yeah. Besides the fact that I think she's the cutest thing, just absolutely gorgeous. I love just the evil and creepy and awkward vibes that she winds up bringing, because she really does heighten the villains. And this season, honestly, I feel like this season has taken a step since her appearance. So she's definitely do some amazing work here. And you also say that part where Shiguru and Juruu were trying to make that stone laugh. It was kind of funny seeing Juruu impersonate his teammates. That's right. He was doing that long ass roll call. And I love how Shiguru in the middle of it cuts everybody off and is like, hey, trust me, the roll calls are necessary. Everybody loves this part, or something along those lines. But yeah, seeing Juruu perform everybody's like intro stand for their roll call, I thought was brilliant. The Shiguru and Juruu stuff, honestly, was some of my favorite stuff that we wind up getting here this week. Just really top notch in regards to the quality and continuing to showcase just the great chemistry and why they're teammates in the first place, man. So give me more Juruu, give me more Shiguru also. And I love just the seriousness that Shiguru winds up having, right? Like when he realizes that he's on a mission to provide entertainment, what he's known for. I love the serious look when he goes up to Juruu and he puts his arm around here. He's like, you're coming with me. Like, he's completely dead-ass serious, and I absolutely love what Shiguru turns into when it comes to being a performer. So, you guys, I think you guys understand when I say he kind of rubs off on me a little bit, kind of like Razzle, in regards to just his showmanship. You know what I mean? But, yeah, Shiguru easily won me over once again this week. But, guys, listen, at the end of the day, I want to know your thoughts. So, please let me know your thoughts on episode number 28 of Kiramager in the live chat or the comment section box below. And don't worry, we will be back later on this upcoming weekend, Saturday at noon Central Time. Join us for APlus Morphinominal live, and we'll go ahead and answer your live viewing questions going forward. But other than that, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us here today. So thank you very much for certainly joining me today. I'll see you guys this weekend. In the meantime, do me a big favor. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And keep it A+. I'll talk to you guys later. Karame Chain!